These right here are two YouTubers named Zek and May, who in January of 2024 uploaded a rather disturbing video titled Exploring an Abandoned Bank to their channel Urbex Vibes. Their channel primarily focuses on urban exploration, and they frequently upload footage of their adventures exploring various abandoned locations throughout the United States. In this particular video, Zek and May set out to explore an abandoned bank situated in Framingham, Massachusetts. As the duo began their exploration and stepped inside the building, they immediately noticed that the structures inside were surprisingly in a good condition. Apart from some damaged walls and ceilings, most areas within the building seemed to be in a relatively good state, with power and even functioning electronics, suggesting the bank had luckily not been vandalized by looters or squatters. During the initial minutes of their exploration, they moved from one side of the building to the other, primarily exploring the area but also ensuring that no one else was currently inside with them. Fortunately for the duo, they didn't find any signs of recent activity, nor did they hear or see anything unusual during this time. They then continued exploring and decided to check out the main lobby. However, as they were walking towards one of the rooms, that's when they encountered something extremely alarming.
Yeah, here's some more offices. And of course, all the lights work. What's behind this door? What is that? Recorded. Holy bro. Is that real? I don't know what it is. Is that real?
Yo, are you alright?
That's somebody?
It sure looks like it's somebody.
That looks like real hair. That's a phone and stuff. We gotta go. Oh, we gotta go. Hello? Let's
Are you
go.
alright?
Oh no.
I think we just might have found it.
No.
Bank, bro.
Let's go. I don't know what to do. We're
Let's go outside and let's figure it out. Hold on.
No.
Let's go outside.
No.
Yes,
No.
hold on.
No.
So relax.
I can't. This is the worst.
Relax.
No.
Hold up.
No.
Hold up.
Let's go down somewhere. Oh, my stomach
relax.
hurts.
Relax. Relax.
Fuck, let's
We need to
walk.
breathe. We
Okay.
need to, no, hold up. We need to breathe. We need to figure out what to do here.
I don't know. Call your mom. We have to cut this real quick. We'll start it again if we can.
To the explorers' absolute shock, as soon as they opened the door, they noticed a woman who seemed to have been motionless and had her face down on top of the desk. The duo immediately started asking her if she was all right, but the woman didn't respond and remained completely motionless. Unsure if the woman was under the influence, or even worse, had overdosed, the explorers started panicking and frantically made their way out of the building. They then immediately called the cops and mentioned everything they had just witnessed. Although the explorers didn't capture this part on camera, they later noted that when the cops arrived at the building, they initially called out to the woman for several minutes, but she once again didn't respond. Fortunately, after hearing all the commotion, the woman finally started to wake up just before the cops were ready to administer Narcan. The explorers also mentioned that the woman was under the influence of some pretty hard substances, and therefore wasn't responding to them. Thankfully, the woman was all right in the end, and even insisted that she didn't have to go to the hospital. Nevertheless, despite the explorers' initial shock, it's still a good thing that they found the woman just in time and were able to wake her up. Otherwise, who knows what could have happened to her if it weren't for Zek and May.
This is actually the lady right here. I guess she was on some hardcore or whatever. She was knocked out. Oh man. The cops were nice. I'm actually surprised they didn't do more to any of us, including her. But yeah, they let us out. But yeah, there's a bunch of cops in the front of the bank right there.
If you've enjoyed the video so far, it would mean a lot if you considered subscribing. Over 95% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. Your support really helps the channel grow, and in return, I promise to keep bringing you guys the best quality content. Now let's get back to the video. In June of 2025, a YouTuber named Luke uploaded a video titled, "I Explored an Abandoned Prison" to his channel Luke Explores. His channel is dedicated to urban exploration, and he often uploads footage of himself exploring various abandoned locations across North America. In this particular video, Luke, along with one of his friends, decided to explore an abandoned prison known as the SCI Greensburg, situated in Hempfield Township, Pennsylvania. As the explorers began their video, they arrived at the facility early in the morning. This decision was primarily fueled by the fact that they wanted to explore the building in peace, as they didn't want to be disturbed by anyone. Fortunately for the duo, their early morning arrival allowed them to explore the premises without any disturbances. They spent the next several hours inside, and by the time the sun began to rise, their exploration was still progressing smoothly. They then continued exploring and decided to check out the upper levels. However, as they were walking across the hallway, that's when they stumbled upon something truly disturbing.
What are they drilling? There isn't even any cars out there. No. So the weird thing is, they are drilling. Whatever they're drilling or cutting, it is coming directly down the middle of this well right here. Like, it is like in line with the door. But there is not a unless there's a car that's literally parked right out front. There's nothing there. It's like the weirdest thing, and it sounds like they're drilling underground. I'm gonna go around the corner and see if I can get a closer look. There's no cars out there at all. I'm so confused. Like, it sounds like they're right below us.
After hearing the noises, the explorers immediately went towards its direction to investigate the source. For the next several minutes, they moved from one side of the building to another, but despite searching everywhere, they unfortunately found nothing that could have caused those noises. Consequently, they suspected that a scrapper might be in the lower sections of the building and was responsible for causing the noises. This detail is particularly alarming, especially since a scrapper could be carrying a sledgehammer, or even worse, they could also be armed and potentially use them against the explorers if they felt threatened or cornered. But the duo didn't think too much about this detail and eventually decided to go down to the ground floor to investigate.
Alright, so we're gonna go downstairs really quick, because that's where it sounds like the drilling's coming from, and it smells like oil. So I kinda wanna run down there and just see if I see anything. Should I run down there real quick? Okay, so literally directly on this side of it underneath us, it's like the sound is like carrying it. There is basically, like literally like right here, like an underground pathway that is somewhat lit up that goes like here to here. So they might be doing something like underground or something. I don't know. That might be why they don't have cars here. And that might be why we can't figure out where they are. So I think we should keep going, oddly enough. What the hell?
After realizing that the noises were originating from the ground floor, they wisely chose not to explore that section and immediately started walking in the opposite direction, as they didn't want to attract any unwanted attention. They then continued to explore the building for an additional 15 minutes, and it did appear as though the explorers were completely alone in that section, as the noises were fairly distant and the situation had significantly calmed down by now. During this time, they also went up to the roof to see if they could spot any cars or even the scrappers themselves. But once again, they found nothing. Nonetheless, they eventually went back down to continue with their exploration. However, just moments later, as they were walking towards one of the rooms, that's when they encountered something once again.
That's pretty cool. What the heck? here's us thinking that this would be the best day to do this. Okay guys, this is where we're at right now. We have to be so quiet because we were walking down one of the main hallways and we thought we were getting further away from them. But all of a sudden I looked for Kari because I heard someone coming up the stairs and I saw the shadow coming up the stairs of a person. And then I looked and she was right next to me. And then I heard the grunting and we just started running, like tiptoe running. And he literally walked like on the outside of it. So we're not sure if like he just came up and walked out because we heard a truck drive away. Before we either get out of here or keep going, we need to go get eyes on whatever is here. If there's multiple cars here and they're still here, I don't think it's gonna make sense for us to stick around a lot longer. So we're just gonna hope. We're gonna hope that they're actually gone. So we're gonna give it one more minute and then I'm gonna turn the camera back on and we're gonna get going. So let's explore. You ready? Alright, there's no one out there. Do we want to wait another minute or do we want to just send it and see if we can see anyone out there? I think let's wait 2 more minutes to play it safe and then we'll go see.
After noticing someone walking towards them, the explorers immediately ran into one of the rooms and began hiding. By this point, they had also realized that the noises were not caused by a scrapper, but rather by a group of workers who were actively trying to demolish the building and were accompanied by several security guards. Realizing that they would get arrested if they got caught, the explorers had no other option but to find out where the workers were in order for them to figure out whether they should continue exploring or leave the building.
Literally, he came up that staircase on the right-hand side. Kari, you know that's the front, right? Okay, I didn't realize that. That's why he walked out this way. Alright guys, at this point we're probably gonna go ahead and try to get out of here. For the third time in like 20 minutes, we were about 5 seconds away from getting caught red-handed because the workers are using the main hallways here. So every time we keep going up the hallway, literally one of them keeps coming up the stairs. Yeah, no, this is where they were, but they obviously weren't doing any cutting in here. Please, the truck.
By this point, the explorers had been hiding inside the room for several minutes, and every time they attempted to escape, they would either hear the workers or see them approaching their location. At one point during their escape, they even spotted a security guard in a pickup truck that was parked outside the building, which effectively blocked their only exit. Given their circumstances, the explorers couldn't simply walk out of the premises, and they had no other viable option but to continue hiding inside the room, and all they could do now was hope that the workers and guards would leave the building without finding them. For almost the next 3 hours, they stayed hidden, all while they heard footsteps and loud noises coming towards them. Luckily for the duo, the noises eventually stopped, and both the guards and the workers left the building. They then cautiously made their way towards the exit, and they fortunately managed to get out of the building without being detected. Nonetheless, the explorers were incredibly fortunate that day that they weren't caught or detained by the security guards, and they managed to escape the entire situation without being arrested for trespassing or any other charges. In August of 2024, a YouTuber named Tom uploaded a chilling video titled "Exploring an Abandoned Factory Gone Wrong" to his channel, Exploring with Tom. His channel mainly focuses on urban exploration, and for the past 8 years, he has uploaded almost 1,000 videos documenting his adventures exploring different abandoned locations across the United Kingdom. In this particular video, Tom, along with one of his friends, decided to explore an abandoned factory known as the Pilkingtons headquarters, situated in Lancashire, England. As the explorers began their video and entered the factory, they immediately noted that the building was huge and was unlike anything that they had explored before. This not only meant a lengthy exploration, but also meant that if the duo were to hear or see anything unusual, locating their source would be extremely difficult. Nonetheless, the explorers remained optimistic and eventually got back to their exploration. During the initial minutes of their video, they discovered several signs suggesting that squatters or homeless individuals might have lived inside the building at some point. Disturbingly, they also noticed that almost every surface within the factory had been stripped down, and anything of value had either been scrapped or destroyed by looters or scrappers. Fortunately for the duo, apart from these discoveries, it seemed as though they were completely alone inside the building, as they didn't hear or see anything unusual. They then left that section and decided to check out the factory's basement. However, as they were walking through that section, that's when they made a shocking discovery.
Oh my god. Whoa. This is actually creepy. The big flashlight. That's creepy down here.
What used to be in there? What?
One sec. What the f? It's no way if I get out of here. It's no way if I run.
As soon as the explorers entered one of the rooms, they noticed a sleeping bag that oddly seemed to have someone sleeping inside it. Furthermore, they also spotted several cans near the bag, making it even more obvious that someone was definitely living in that room. Realizing this, the duo immediately started making their way out of the basement, as they didn't want to wake up the individual and cause any unwanted problems. For the next several minutes, they continued to explore the upper levels, occasionally pausing to ensure that the individual wasn't following them. Fortunately for the duo, they didn't see the individual, nor did they hear any footsteps or any other noises. They then left that section and decided to explore the remaining parts of the building. However, as they were walking towards one of the rooms, that's when they encountered something once again.
Yeah, it's all been stripped out, hasn't it? That's them, innit? The f*** this part here. What the f***? Yo, what the f***? That's mad. Holy sh**. Please switch off lights when in use. How scary does that sound? What? Yeah, you can leave the light on, yeah. This is insane. They're literally above us. They're above us. Sounds creepy, doesn't it? It's just been blocked off here, isn't it? But that must lead to the other building. Mustn't it? Oh, it does as well. Oh, it does as well. It goes further. It goes further.
After hearing noises coming from the top floor, the explorers concluded that they must have been caused by a group of scrappers who were actively trying to strip down the building. Realizing that there was a homeless individual in the basement, and now that there were also scrappers above them, they wisely chose not to explore the building further, and they ultimately decided to leave, as they didn't want to be detected by either of them. They then cautiously started making their way towards the exit. However, as soon as they left the building, that's when they stumbled upon something extremely disturbing.
Let's get over here. Somebody's there. Right. Hurry up. Come on. That man was looking around the corner, and when we looked over, he moved. So yeah, that what we found before is someone staying there. That's sketchy. Yeah, do you want to wait in the car?
Yeah.
Come on, quick. He was literally, I saw him peek around the corner and then he went back to hide. He was literally peeking on that corner there.
It's evident that the individual that the explorers had spotted inside the basement had woken up and was now leaving the building. At one point during their escape, the duo also mentioned that they had seen the individual staring at them, and he immediately started walking away once he realized he had been spotted. After yet another bizarre encounter, the explorers immediately started walking away from the building, and they fortunately managed to escape the entire situation without any harm. Nevertheless, it's still a good thing that neither the homeless individual nor the scrappers were hostile or aggressive towards the explorers, as encounters of this nature often end with explorers being harassed or even attacked by people with sinister intentions.